Hello and welcome to Energizing Habits, simple strategies for a sustainable, healthy lifestyle. I'm your host, Vicki Cleary, and I guide ambitious women just like you to find more focus, more energy, and more productivity so they can thrive, whether it's in business or in life, all by tapping into sustainable habit change around nutrition, movement, sleep, and stress management. Are you ready? Here we go. Hello, everyone. All right. So, hey, thanks for bearing with me through kind of some weird schedule changes. We have been working through all the things around having a senior in high school, trying to transition to, figuring out the college situation for next year, and of course, still migrating through cross-country season and, trying to plan for next year while living in this year has been, an interesting challenge. So schedule has been a little off, but also I have been trying to experiment a little bit. So this particular episode kind of kicks off a little bit of an experiment where I was wanting to do some Facebook Lives in the Facebook group around some topics and then transition those into the podcast. So let me know what you think of that, which makes today's episode really kind of something special from what you've already been seeing in the podcast. So like I said, I did a Facebook Live in my group, the Facebook group, Uplift, Habit Shift. And well, I tried to make it a Facebook Live. It ended up being a recording because it was the first time trying to do the Zoom and the Facebook group and all the things. And I realized after the fact that I kept choosing the wrong selection, which made it not work. And after about 15 minutes, I said, forget it. We'll just record it and post it. So it was a Facebook not so live, but for the next few that are coming up as a part of the series, actually, now I know how to do it so it can be live. So it should offer a little bit more different flair to it as, depending on the audience engagement. So we'll see how it goes. But the topic is one that I believe is just one of the most crucial elements in personal transformation, and that is your mindset. And specifically, how your mindset acts as the foundation for lasting habit change. So the episode that you're going to listen to, so this is like a little preview into the actual episode. I just wanted to do a little kind of intro to kind of let you understand like what's happening. Why does this look weird? Why does it look different? In case you thought that. So I'm going to talk about that, just like mindset for transformation, right? How it comes into play. And I won't give it away. You can listen to the episode, but in the episode, I then I tell you what the other 3 topics will be that follow this episode. There's 3 other topics on mindset that are going to follow. So there will be the Facebook Lives on the topic, and then I'll take it and transition it to the podcast. And then we'll rinse and repeat with each of the 3 topics. But I'm not going to tell you what they are. You've got to listen to the episode to find out. But I think this is kind of a fun way to kind of do a little topical focus. So we're focusing on mindset and exploring it in a couple different capacities, but also a little bit different style. And of course, the first one is going to feel more like the regular podcast because it's just a recording. But the next 3, hopefully, will have a little bit more flair for you. All right. So the other part that I want to just, before we dive in, I want to encourage you to just take the opportunity as you're listening to the episode to reflect on your current mindset, right? And just like take stock of where your head is. How do you think it's actually affecting what you're actually trying to do, right? As you're trying to make change, does it feel like the mind is helping to hold you back? Is it hindering you? And then notice if there's areas where you feel stuck, some specific areas. So now if you're listening to the episode and you're like, yep, I can see. So you're nodding along, don't worry, because you're in the right place. I've got some powerful tools that we're going to be sharing with you. And then of course, all of that is, if you decide that you want to work with me in coaching, if you want to coach with me, we cover all of this stuff in our actual coaching program. So this kind of gives you a bit of a taste of kind of what we start to work through and talk through over the coaching experience. All right, I'm going to stop rambling. One final point though, because I won't have the opportunity at the end. If you find this episode helpful, I'd love to hear from you. Don't forget to like the episode, whatever platform that you're listening on, and take a screenshot and then post it over on Instagram. Tag me at Uplift Healthy Lifestyle. That way I can cheer you on and I can see what resonates with you. So, if we get some people that are really digging on this mindset thing, maybe we try to cover it a little deeper beyond just this. Technically, I guess it's a 4-part mini series. So, all right, there I have for you. Enjoy the episode and watch for the other 3 episodes coming up over the next probably month and a half to 2 months. Try to spread it out a little bit. So, all right. Thanks for listening. Hello, everyone. All right. So if you're watching this, then, well, you might have already seen that I had a few technical issues with the live stream going Zoom, Facebook group. It was a whole thing. So we are not going to let that derail us, though. And I'm just going to record it. And so at this point, you're seeing the recording posted in the Facebook group. And you are welcome to comment and ask questions in those comments down below, and I will get to those. It just won't be real time as intended. So no worries. But for today I wanted to start a mini series, if you will. And, regardless if I can figure out live stream, we'll have these videos. And the first topic that I want to hit on is mindset, specifically mindset for transformation, and how it comes into play. So this is kind of it is the first video where we're trying the live stream. The goal would be if we get the live stream going, then there can be some coaching. If you wanted to type your question, then I could respond to it real time, but we can also do it via the comments, as I said. But with this mini series talking about mindset. So today I want to talk about why mindset is key for transformation, why it is so important. And then we're going to get into 3 different mindset shifts over 3 separate videos. So I do first want to take a moment that if you are watching this, right? And so now most of you will be, or all of you will be on the recording, watching the replay because we couldn't do the live, but comment below that you're watching. I just want to know how many of you are seeing this, how many of you are watching. So that would be amazing if you could just comment below and let me know that you are seeing this. All right. When we talk about habits, it is easy to think that it's just about the actions that we take, right? I'm going to do X, Y, and Z, and then I will have this result. But no amount of action will stick if your mindset is working against you. It'd be like climbing an uphill battle, basically. Mindset, excuse me, mindset is the foundation that supports all of our habits. And it shapes how we approach change and how we handle setbacks and how we ultimately view our own ability to grow. When you start to shift your mindset, even small changes start to create massive ripples in your life. So during this training, this mini series, if you will, we're going to explore these mindset shifts that are the foundation for lasting personal transformation. I've seen these shifts in action in both my life and in those of others that I've worked with. And by the end of this mini series, you'll have practical tools to reshape your mindset and create healthier habits that will ultimately lead to better results in every area of your life. Now, before I even share what these 3 key mindset shifts are, I thought we could focus on why mindset is so important in transformation. Now, you've probably heard the saying, your thoughts create your reality. Well, there is a lot of truth in that, especially when it comes to personal growth and habit change. You may have even heard of visualization, having your mind experience and go through it. It's like it's already done it without your body having done it. So that's the mind is just a powerful, powerful thing. I'm enjoying my first cup of coffee this morning because it is a Sunday morning. It's still relatively early. All right. When you think about transformation, whether it's breaking out from burnout, improving your health, or just showing up more fully in life, it's easy to focus on the actions that you need to take, right? We often jump straight to the what if or the what, not the what if, but the what. What habits do I need to build? What routines should I start? What foods should I eat? But the reality is that none of those actions are going to stick unless there's a mindset behind it to support it. So think of your mindset as the foundation of a house, right? You can add all the fancy fixtures and decorations that you want, but if the foundation isn't strong, the house will eventually crumble. The same goes for your habits and your goals. The way you think about yourself, your capabilities, and the challenges you face shapes every decision that you make. If you believe that you're stuck, that change is impossible, or that things will always be the way they are now, you're going to act in that way and it will reinforce it. But if you believe that growth is possible, that you're capable of learning, of adapting and becoming the person that you want to be, you'll approach every situation much differently. Here's how mindset influences transformation in a big way. First, it shapes how you handle challenges. When you're working towards any goal, you're bound to face obstacles, right? There's things that are going to get in our way. How you think about those obstacles determines whether you push through or if you're going to give up. If you have a fixed mindset, you might see challenges as proof that you're not cut out for success. But with a growth mindset, and we'll talk about this later, with a growth mindset, you view those same challenges as opportunities to learn and improve. The only difference is your mindset. But that shift makes a huge difference in how you show up and take action. Secondly, your mindset impacts consistency and resilience. Transformation takes time. It requires consistency, right? I was reminded of this as I was going through some training materials just last night. You can even have 10% of effort, but if you are consistent, you will still see results, right? Now you won't see those results overnight, of course. And there'll be moments where it feels like they're not working, but you will still see the results. It just might take a little time. So the more consistent you can be, the quicker or the better results you'll see, but you will still see results. Now, if your mindset is focused on immediate results or perfection, you're more likely to get discouraged and quit. But if you have a flexible mindset, one that understands that progress is not linear, you'll be better equipped to stay the course, to adapt when needed, keep going, and especially when things get tough. All right. So, thirdly, mindset affects how you see yourself and your identity. Your mindset is directly tied to how you see yourself. If you believe that you're not the type of person who exercises regularly or just someone who's bad at managing stress, you'll act in ways that reinforce that identity. But when you shift your mindset to believe that you can become the kind of person who prioritizes their health, who manages their stress, or creates new habits, you start to embody those behaviors. And you are no longer fighting against yourself because your mindset is aligned with the identity you're working towards. And lastly, mindset fuels motivation and momentum. Mindset can either fuel your transformation or it can slow it down. If you're waiting for motivation to strike, you'll be waiting a long time. Now, motivation does come from action, right? Action is what actually spurs motivation. It doesn't just happen. And if you're waiting for motivation to strike, you will be slowed, right? You won't get started. You won't take that action. But a mindset that embraces small, consistent steps, that is more inclined to actually take that step because it is small, will actually get you started, right? No matter how imperfect. These small, consistent steps is what builds momentum over time. And each small win, right, from taking those actions reinforces the belief that change is possible. And that fuels even more motivation. But it starts with the mindset that, we don't have to make these big changes. We just need to start taking some small action and creating our own motivation, right? Through the actions that we take. Now, this is why mindset is so key in transformation. It's not just about what you do, but how you think about what you're doing. Your thoughts drive your actions. And over time, those actions lead to transformation. Now, one little quick aside as to how some of this starts to tie together is there's a thought model, a self-coaching model, if you will, where you have a circumstance. That circumstance generates a thought, whether it's a good or bad thought. That thought generates a feeling. Okay. That feeling then is what starts to get you to take an action. And the action is what gets you to your results. Right. So the circumstance happens, then there's a thought. The thought generates the feeling, which then generates the action. Therefore, if you have a thought that, as a part of your mindset shift, you have a thought that you can do something, you will have the feeling that corresponds with that and create the action that goes with it, right? So action is spurred by your thoughts, is the short end of saying that. And your thoughts, of course, are your mindset. So as we move into our upcoming mini series sessions, I want you to remember this. The work that we're doing around mindset isn't just about positive thinking, okay? And it certainly isn't about toxic positivity, if you've heard that phrase before. It's not just trying to be positive. We're making these shifts that are rewiring the way that you approach habits, your challenges, and your goals. And once you change that mindset, the actions become that much easier. Okay, now that we understand why mindset or thought work is so important, I'm going to go over the three main topics that we're going to be covering in these upcoming sessions. So first, let me tell you that these, for me, are the three key mindset shifts towards transformation. There are some other things that we may get into as separate sessions as we go through the live coaching series. Again, if we can get it going in the Facebook group. But these are the three key ones. These are the ones where you're going to see the most result, right? The most impact. So the first is a growth mindset. Now, if you've heard of growth mindset before, I want you to comment below. Just say something like you've heard of it, or you know what it is, or growth mindset, or an emoji, right? So growth mindset is the belief that our abilities and intelligence are not fixed. They can be developed with effort, learning, perseverance. With a growth mindset, you begin to see challenges as opportunities, and you understand that failure is part of the process. It doesn't define your self-worth. You can try, fail, learn, and try again, each time getting closer to your goals. This shift is especially important when you're building new habits, right? Really, when you're trying anything new. But with habits, you're going to mess up. That's just the reality of it, right? And of course, we don't want to expect ourselves to be perfect 100%, but it's also not the reality. But you're going to mess up, and it's okay. And understanding that it's okay is a very important part of the process. You're going to miss a workout. You're going to have to stop by the drive-through because you're super hungry, or you just don't have time between, running the kids around or meetings or whatever. Or you might even skip a meditation or, your own process for stress management. But when you have a growth mindset, you won't beat yourself up about it. You'll simply assess what happened and then make adjustments for next time. And you also understand that life is a process, right? That's really the key. Life is a process. It's not just I say I'm gonna do this and it's gonna get done 100% of the time. And that's just the reality of it. But having a growth mindset actually helps you understand that that is reality and we can move forward. Tied to that then is flexible thinking, and that is the second topic for our mini series. Now, this flexible thinking is about learning to see situations from multiple perspectives, being adaptable and embracing change. It's all about giving yourself permission to pivot and adapt when things don't go according to plan. So, growth mindset and flexible thinking really work together, but they are a little bit different. Okay. When we practice flexible thinking, we become more resilient in the face of uncertainty and allowing us to problem solve effectively rather than getting stuck. So, once again, life is unpredictable, right? That is just our reality. Rigid expectations often lead to frustration. And so, I want to take you through how flexibility can help you stay on track with your habits, even when things go sideways. And when you develop that flexible mindset, you're able to navigate obstacles with ease rather than feeling like you failed when things aren't perfect. We'll also walk through how to have a couple of backup plans, right? So that you're ready for when those things go sideways, when things don't go according to plan. All right, now the third session that we will do is making decisions for your future self. Now, this is a practice where making choices for today benefit your future self and having the understanding how that works, right? It's one of my favorite mindset shifts because it's a game changer for that internal motivation, for understanding how what we do affects the result later. It's really all about delayed gratification. And this is a place where a lot of people struggle, and that's okay. But that's why we work on the mindset shift to get us there, to understand how delaying that gratification can help us down the road, helps us to think long term, or at least a little further out than just today. When we start to make decisions for our future selves, we align our actions with the life that we truly want to create, right? And so there's a whole component there about understanding your goals, understanding the life that you want to live, and then understanding how the choices you make actually get you there or derail from that. When we're caught up in the moment, it's easy to choose comfort or convenience over that long-term progress. But when you start thinking in terms of what your future self needs, it becomes easier to make those decisions to support your goals. You're no longer just doing something because you have to, right? You're doing it because you want to show up as the best version of yourself now and in the future. So each of these mindset shifts, and there's 3 of them, like I said, plays a critical role in creating lasting personal growth. They're the foundation for healthier habits, improved decision making, and achieving the results we want in life, whether it's in your career, in your health, in your relationships, or simply your own personal development. So, to wrap up our session for today, here's what I want you to take away. Mindset is the key to unlocking your potential. whether it's building new habits, overcoming challenges, or achieving your goals. The way you think is at the core of it all. Okay. So, over those next few sessions, as I said, we're going to be diving deeper into those three mindset shifts: growth mindset, flexible thinking, and making decisions for your future self. So, of course, we're going to start with the growth mindset. And I'm going to share with you how you can shift from a fixed way of thinking into this growth oriented mindset that will help you embrace challenges and learn from them. So, before we get into that session, before we meet again, I invite you to take a few minutes to just reflect on your current mindset. How do you understand where your thinking is right now? How do you approach challenges in life? Are there areas where you've held yourself back, maybe from limiting beliefs? And just start noticing these thoughts over the next, probably couple of weeks before we get into this next section. But I invite you to start noticing. Awareness is one of those first steps to being able to change. Now, if you really want to start digging in, consider this exercise to identify your mindset triggers. Okay. Think of specific situations that trigger a negative or a fixed mindset. For example, what situations make you feel like giving up, or maybe that you're not good enough? The other question to ask yourself is, are there certain habits or goals where I tend to self sabotage? By identifying these triggers, you'll have more awareness about where your mindset needs the most work. All right, now, because I obviously cannot see any of your live questions because we couldn't get the live going, please comment below with any questions, either about how mindset actually affects transformation or any questions that you have for our growth mindset session so that I can be ready to address those questions going in. And then, of course, you're more than welcome to post any questions either in that live or in the replay, however we can get it set up. So that's what I have for you today. Again, drop any questions, and I'll see you soon.